present green, right? Yes. So we, Stanley, myself, and Chocolate, so we represent the Georges River Association. So we are a local residents group, representing like over 1,000 local residents. They are mostly now voters around here, of course. So we are really appreciate your time for us to understand your policy for this election. The first up, what's your education and working experience?
Yeah. Okay. So at the moment, I'm at the University of Sydney, and I'm a researcher. I'm conducting a PhD. I'm a PhD candidate.
Wow.
And what I'm researching is social housing solutions. And
That's very good.
I'm comparing Sydney with Vienna in Austria, because in Vienna they have a very well developed social housing system for everyone. So it's for people, professors or business people, anyone can live in social housing, and it's very high quality. So
You're
I'm
really
very
passionate.
very passionate about social justice.
Yeah.
Very passionate about
Yeah.
the environment, obviously,
Yeah.
and also very passionate about making New South Wales a better place for everyone.
Great.
For everyone.
Great. So what's the most important policy for this country?
It's hard to choose one policy because the Greens are very passionate about a lot of policies, but definitely infrastructure is important. We know that the railways, we need to spend more money on the railways because it's very difficult sometimes to get a place on the train when you taking the train in the morning,
Absolutely.
things like that.
I'll ask question later specifically for that.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Yeah, but the other things are also making sure that workers are treated well, because we've found out that some workers are not getting paid. People are withholding their wages, and also welfare is also very important.
Very good. Okay, good. Excellent. So I just want to make some comments about the Michael Daly's his speech about the Asians taking over jobs from Aussies, and there was a dramas after that. So what's your comment about that?
I think those comments are very regrettable because I believe Australia and the Greens obviously believe Australia is a multicultural society, and it has been for a very long time. And as you know, we have Jenny Leong in Newtown, and she's a very strong woman who's really helping us fight for a better New South Wales. And New South Wales is for everyone. And we don't want to stop immigration because I'm a migrant myself. I migrated from Germany a long time ago.
Okay.
But so I really believe that our country is for everyone.
Thank you very much. Okay, back to the infrastructure. So you live around this area, right? So in Thursville how crowded it is, how hard it is to find a parking. As a matter of fact, over the past decade, the funding for the infrastructure in our region in Kogarah are terribly, shockingly lacking. So if you are elected or as a general green policy, how are you going to address this problem? Especially for the people of Kogarah.
Yeah. Well, definitely we need to spend more money on infrastructure and public transport. So if public transport is much better, it means less people will use their cars, which means there will be more parking because it'll be easier to use public transport, which means those people who need to use a car can use a car. And those people for whom it's easy to use public transport, they will then be taken off the roads. So the Liberal Party actually, the Liberal government has a policy of not investing as much in public transport and running it down because they want people to use the toll roads. Now toll roads, it adds up, the tolls add up and it's very expensive. So we're saying less toll roads, more public transport.
Gotcha. It's pretty clear. Yep. And the next question is also similar. but more close to our heart because it's related to the school. So Hurstville Public School is getting so crowded despite of lots of investment, but the facilities are still lacking, and the size of the OC is also a concern. So what's your policy around education and especially for the Hurstville Public School?
Yeah. So the Liberal government, again, they give a lot of money to private schools and to religious schools. And the Greens New South Wales say we want to spend all the money on the public schools because the other schools, they already have funding from somewhere else. They already have a lot of funding. So government funding should go to government schools. And so that can bring, if we do that, that can bring a lot more money into the public school system.
Excellent, thank you. And the next question is related to the council. So lots of local residents complain about the poor performance of the council. The road is a mess, and there are even some unsolicited, unlicensed food vendor on the main street. And the swimming pool is falling out to disrepair, and the parks and everything. So if you are elected as a state MP, how are you going to help the council to help the residents?
Yeah. Okay, well, if I was elected, I would follow Greens policy because the Greens is a very democratic party, and so we are held to the policy. Now, the Greens have been a very, very strong campaigner for local councils, and local councils work very, very hard, and they don't actually get a lot of money because the state government gets a lot of money from rates and from stamp duty, and the federal government obviously gets tax. So local councils get rates, but it's still very difficult for them to do everything that they need to do. So I think that they should be given more money or more, for things to be made easier for local councils to do.
Are you suggesting raise the rate?
No. Rates are already very high, and especially because mortgages are very high and rents are very high. I think it would be too difficult for most people to pay those rates.
Okay. So basically you need more like government funding for the council. Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's interesting. Yep. So the next question is about the place of public worship. So I mentioned to you before. So recently in Hurstville, South Hurstville, Pensions, there are several high-profile BAs for places of public worship, and it caused lots of contention among the community. And so if you are elected as the state MP, how are you going to help with the legislation, the planning, the control and everything to just reject the violence?
Yep. Okay, well, this sounds like it's more of a local council issue. So I think there's a limit to what the state government can actually do. But I'm also very interested in local councils.
Okay.
And the Greens have a very clear policy that people should be able to worship and pray however they want to. So it's freedom of religion. And this means that we need to allow people places of worship. And actually, if we don't, then that makes it very hard for those people, and they'll find other places to worship anyway. So I think it's really, really important that we, definitely make sure that parking issues are addressed around these really large centres of worship and things like that. But definitely, we need to make sure that that there's freedom of worship, that people can, in whatever way they would like to, that they can worship. Yeah.
Cool. So the next one is the train station, especially the corporate one. So that's the people complain most. Is the corporate station is so crowded, so hard to get on, and there's so many people and everything. So what's your position about that one?
Okay, again, it comes back to investment in public transport, and that's something that Greens are very strong on, and we really believe that we need less toll roads and more public transport, and that's to help those sorts of issues. And of course, that includes spending on individuals to You know, things like putting lifts in.
Okay, cool. So yeah, okay. So the next one probably is a bit sensitive with regard to the New Zealand Christchurch shooting. So people are more concerned about the safety, and this also relates to the immigration and the refugee policy. At the state, as a state MP, what's your position on that one? If you elected.
Yeah. First, I'd like to say that what happened in New Zealand is absolutely tragic, and the Greens, you know, we've been, you know, Marine Faruqi has been very strong on supporting the Muslim community, and so again, like as I said before, we stand for freedom of worship, and we don't believe that that immigration should be changed. You know, I think people should be allowed to come to Australia, and especially refugees, especially people who are being persecuted in the country where they're living. They should be able to seek refuge and asylum in a rich country like Australia. We can afford it.
Okay, thank you. Some people say Chinese must vote for Chinese. What do you think about it?
I think that Chinese people from a Chinese background can make up their own mind who they want to vote for, and so, you know, basically look at all the policies, see what you agree with, see you know, what people are actually doing in Parliament. The Greens have been very, very strong in you know, voicing concerns about social justice and looking after people and welfare and things like that. So yeah.
Got you. So what do you think about legalized marijuana?
To be honest, I'm not completely up to date with what the up-to-date policy is with Greens, but definitely marijuana has a medicinal quality that can be very helpful for people suffering from cancer and terminal illnesses, and I think it's very, very important that we look at any medicines that are available, including marijuana, or I've forgotten what the medical term is, but in any kind of medicine that we can use, I think we should use for things like that.
Cool. Okay. So what's your position for the Arizona student redevelopment?
The stadium redevelopment, well, the Greens have a very clear policy against the stadium redevelopment, and we've actually filed an injunction to stop it from being demolished. So I think we're very, very clear on what our policy is with that. We want the money to be spent on more important things like health and education.
Cool. Okay. So there's one very interesting question about the teachers' attendance rate in public school. Some residents are calling for a publication of the attendance rate of public school teachers. There's some concerns
You mean
there.
that as they, you mean their sick days? And
Yeah,
things like that
or they
take?
just leave and everything. They have found, I don't know. So some parents are concerned that the public school teachers, especially the permanent staff, they are constantly leave.
Oh, well, I think that would be anecdotal. I don't know whether the evidence actually supports that, because every public school teacher that I know is very, very passionate about their job, and you know, I mean, my kids go to a public school, and the teachers that they've had have been amazing. So I would have to say that that's not been my experience.
Thank you very much. That's all my questions. Stanley, do you have any special questions?
That's great. I mean, it's very. I'm so impressed with the brain.
Okay.
And you balance these two major parties in the conscious, the migration issues, environment issues, the social issues, religion. So that's very cool. Very important key figures. to balance this society.
Yeah.
So we are so grateful.
Thank you
Your
so much.
efforts.
And we're really hoping that it will be a balance of power situation and that the
Exactly.
Greens will be able to help out and basically hold Labor to account and make sure they do what they said they would do.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.